Representative C.A. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, please indulge me. As a woman from the city of Detroit, a woman who has lived, I'm talking about me now, who has lived in the city of Detroit all of my 62 years, and having spoken with many, and by the way, thank you, having spoken with many people who worked the TCF or TFC. TCF.
All right, let's let Representative Johnson continue. And please get to your question, Representative.
I will. So my question really to you, Mr. Chair, I'm going to repeat it again. These people, our guests, are sharing information, just sharing and sharing and speaking and speaking. No one is under oath. The world is watching us right now, and the world is watching right now, and there are one person after another who's testifying or who's making allegations, because that's exactly what they are, allegations of wrongdoing in the city of Detroit. I wonder, and I'm going to ask you the question, did you see any cameras at the TCF Center? All right, so.
And Representative, I just want to remind you, I think it was the purpose of today's hearing to hear from people across Michigan who witnessed things at the TCF Center. That's why we're here.
Well, you know, here, and I'm not going to argue with you about that. Okay, so they're here, but they're taking so much time, and I see no Detroiters. There is one Detroiter. Stop that.
Please continue, Representative.
And there is one Detroiter, but I have many emails. Since there's no one who you have in this room to represent Detroiters, except a couple of us in this room, I have emails from Detroiters. We've taken, what, 2 hours?
Did you have a question? I'm willing. Please stop yelling. People in the audience, let me handle this. Representative, listen, we've had hearings in the past, as you know. We'll have more hearings. Today, we've invited Mr. Giuliani, and Mr. Giuliani has brought forward witnesses that he says have firsthand knowledge of fraud. That's what we are doing today.
If we want to find out if...
Please let me finish.
Yes.
All right. So if you want to do other hearings, we're doing more hearings. But today we're here to hear from these people. So do you have a question for these witnesses?
No, I have some concerns,
right. Well,
many concerns, and I want to just share with you
out of order.
What the concerns
out of order.
are.
Do you have a point of order?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a point of order?
Yes.
What is your point of order?
Point of order is to have them under oath.
You're out of order. As I've said, this is something that is not done here in this state. It's really only...
it may not be done under the state, but you're allowing people to come in here and lie, and I know they're lying.
Representative, you are out of order. I've indulged you, but you're out of order, and we're going to move on.
On behalf of my witnesses, I would like to point out that every single witness we've presented here has sworn an affidavit as to all of these facts.
And so...
Representative, please, I gave you some room there, but we're going to move on. We're going to go
May I say something, please?
Sure.
If that is what you want me to do, I would do it. And I will still repeat the exact same thing I watched. And you know what? I also want to say one thing. If it is a lie, it may change, because a liar has to have a lot of memory power. If it is truth, you can ask me in the middle of the night, it'll still be the same.
All right, I'm going to take this here. Please stop. We're going to move on now to Representative Lefebvre.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr.
not the bureaucrats who made that decision.
Thank you.
Representative C.A. Johnson, are you willing to make a question?
Quick question.
Sure.
Very quick. Mr. Giuliani. Hi again.
Hello?
Do you think that both you and the president are honest men?
Do I really have to answer that question?
Yes.
Representative C.A. Johnson, Representative,
Why not answer it?
Representative, do you have a point of order?
I'm asking the question.
Representative, we're
I'm
not gonna-
asking the question.
We need
Are-
a
do you
question
consider
related to the
yourself,
election.
Mr.
Representative,
Giuliani?
Representative, you're out of order, out of order. Representative, you're out of order. Representative, if you want to ask a question about the election, you can ask the question. But that is not about the election. So, do you have a question about the election, Representative?
I can't because this is a show. No, I just can't.
Representative, do you have a, hold on, Representative.
Do you really believe?
Representative, do you have a question about the election? All right, then I'll turn your mic on. Ask the question about the
Mr.
election.
Giuliani. Oh, did you turn it off?
If you have a
Giuliani.
question about the election, ask it.
I can hear you.
Mr. Giuliani. Do you believe that the citizens of Detroit, those who have voted, feel like what you're doing today is disenfranchising or attempting to disenfranchise the citizens of Detroit?
Just the opposite. I would say that trying
Let's
to
let him
separate
answer.
the honest from the dishonest vote is saving the franchise, because every dishonest vote deprives an honest person of their vote.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Let's let
And
him,
so-
Representative, let's let him answer the question.
Yeah, he just did.
Okay, then
Yeah,
I think,
he just did.
Oh,
And
then-
so I agree with you. Dishonesty is dishonesty, right? Right.
thank you, Representative. All right, Mr. Giuliani, I think that's, the question's for you. I know Jenna Ellis asked to say something. I'm not sure what, but what is it you wanted to say? You have some kind of closing statement?
Thank you. And I appreciate all of.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Giuliani, this committee heard testimony from a bipartisan group of county clerks in Michigan. One was a Democrat and two were Republicans. They testified that they found no evidence whatsoever of widespread irregularities in this election, and they lauded the municipal clerks and their teams who run elections in Michigan for their tireless effort and commitment to free, fair, and safe elections. Your team has now lost 39 court cases in the aftermath of the election, with judges ruling that there is inadequate evidence to support the sweeping claims that you are making and repeating here tonight, and the unprecedented relief that you are seeking. Yesterday, we learned that U.S. Attorney General William Barr has similarly found no evidence whatsoever of widespread irregularities that are worth investigating. If our local clerks, state and federal judges across the country, and the highest ranking law enforcement official in the United States cannot find any substance to or any merit in any of your arguments, why should we? Why should we sit here in the show that you are partaking in and taking around the country if no one has found any evidence whatsoever of any of your wrongdoing? And why should we not believe the reported attempts of you to try to seek a pardon from the president?
What was the last part?
That last part is not
You're
relevant
attempting to seek a
the
pardon, so
election.
why is this not
Representative-
part of that?
Representative.
I will ask that he be disciplined for that. First of all,
Hold on. Let's
first of all, what he says
hold
is
it.
untrue. Second, that is a defamation of my professional character.
I said
Do you
report-
allow that? Do you allow that to happen in your legislature?
As I said.
I said reported.
As I said, Representative, let's keep it limited to the germane issue here. So,
Just for,
Mr.
just for the
Giuliani,
record,
let me
just
ask
for the
the
record,
question.
we haven't lost 39 cases. We've only brought 3. So you're wrong about that. Second, the reason why people are reaching those conclusions is because, like you, they don't have the discipline, maybe the intelligence, I don't know, to read through this, and to read 20 more like it. You can't tell me there's no evidence when I have a couple of thousand affidavits from people. You can't tell me that your credibility is better than the credibility of those people. They swore under oath. You didn't. And you seem very, very free to lie.
Representative C.A. Johnson.
Well, I want to take the time to thank everybody and to thank you, Mr. Giuliani. And I will take the time to just give some quotes that some of my constituents made today. Our elected officials should be condemning.
What is your question, Representative?
Sir.
I'm asking you, what is your
No,
question?
I don't have a question. I would like
If
to.
you don't have a question, then we're going to move on, Representative.
No, that is not fair, sir.
Representative
because
Riley,
our
we're gonna move
elected
on.
officials should be condemning, not.
I'm sorry, you're out of order, Representative. You're out of order. You're out of order. You don't have a question, you're out of order. Representative, you're out of order. You're out of order, Representative. You're out of order, ma'am. You're out of order, Representative. Representative Riley.
This is not about policy. It's not about politics. It's not about Democrats versus Republicans. This is about making sure that we are not the generation that is the weakest link in America that does not preserve and protect our free and fair elections and our right to select our commander-in-chief into the next generation. That's what this is about. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Questions down here for Representative C.A. Johnson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And thank you so much for being here. And I agree with you, too. It should be about us electing our own elected officials. And wouldn't you agree that we have elected our own elected official? And are you saying that some of us should not, our votes don't count?
Not at all, Madam Representative. The point is that when so much fraud dilutes the vote of the people that you serve and your constituents, then it's irredeemably compromised. And you may like the outcome of this fraud, but imagine if there were witnesses that were testifying to the exact same thing and the outcome had been for President Trump. The point here is that corruption is corruption and it dilutes the vote, and that cannot stand. And so, no, your state has not actually selected anyone for president. I mean, in fact, the representative said Kanye, maybe. He doesn't know. I think that's where everyone is at, where we don't know. And what we do know is that there has been a massive amount of fraud, irregularities, and
Thank you.
Well, I'm still finishing. Thank you. There have been massive amount of irregularities. There have been ignorance and complete disregard for the law of the state of Michigan. And so when it is so irredeemably compromised, when you have something like what's happened in Wayne County, you have the intimidation of officials who are trying to do the right thing, intimidation even here in this committee of witnesses. That is unacceptable, and you should reclaim your constitutionally obligated authority so that you can make sure that the person that you send your delegates for genuinely reflects your constituency. And I hope that your constituency would demand and require that of you.
All right, thank you. I don't see any other questions, so thank you for your testimony.
Very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, too. And appreciate everyone who testified here today.